Hi friends, it's Kesmek YouTube channel. Welcome back to another video on my channel. And today I'll be doing my round 2 tips and previews. Now, a massive game. Now, I do talk myself up. I really do. I like to build up this rivalry as much as possible. I think this game is so crucial, I think, for both teams. I think because the last time we played against them, we kept Carlton goalless for a half. Now, I'm going to say Collingwood by 10 points. Basically, on the facts are that we do have a record against Carlton, and they haven't beaten us since 2017. Now, they have beaten us sort of pisses me off in a way that they tend to beat us when it's our 25 years, 50 years, 100 years, 75 years. And that is more frustrating in a way that, that we haven't been these pricks on what mattered. And I think the way that we do want to play, I think it does suit us in going forward. I think we are a better team at home at the MCG than what we are at the Gabba. But I'm not nervous at all for this game. I'm going in pretty confident that we can bounce back. Based on what I have seen, Adam Sadie doesn't like to defend. And the reason why I say, and look, I'm going to upset Carlton fans here by saying this, but it's a true fact. Adam Sadie does not like to defend. He doesn't want to defend when he has to play on a man. When you force him to play on a man, all he wants to do is run and carry. Now, sure, it's good to run and carry, but you got to realise as well, guys, that you have to defend at some point. You can't just say, I want to do this, I want to do that. Eventually you're going to have to wake your ass off and start defending. Because it's not all about scoring. If you're more on about attacking, then you shouldn't be in the team. And I think at times the frustration that Essendon had with Adam Sadie, that he got told that he should defend Charlie Cameron. Now, 2 quick players. Well, what is the name of the game? Is to play attacking footy at its peak best. And if you can't defend for 100 for full 4 quarters of footy, all it takes is that one bit of couple bad moments where you land Dustin Martin free, for example, and it just comes back and bites you in the arse. So I think this game is so crucial, and one reason, apart from that, I think we'll bounce back, is I just think that we've got a better forward line than I think what Carlton do. Carlton rely on the Harry Mackay sort of player to really take those marks. And then you got the way that they wanted to, the other tall forwards that they do have, like they might have Mitch McGovern down there or Levi Greenwood a few times. And I think, with Harry Mackay, he can't be trusted in the way that he does go about, because he'll snap these kicks. You rather lose now than lose in finals, but I think this game means so much that because this game means so much to Collingwood fans and Carlton fans, I think it does give us a chance in a way to it gives us a chance to set the tone early. Now, if Carlton do get on the spree, we can shut them down. Personal opinion, I would play Levi Greenwood to tag Cripps and make his life difficult. Make his job a lot more difficult as it is. Because even though he's like Sunderland played like a Dustin Martin sort of type thing, and so he's Jordan to go, but I just feel at the moment, I just feel that Carlton, have to learn. It's not all about attack; it's about defence as well. And St Kilda can play that, the attack inside the game, but also can defend as well. So, and my guess is for Carlton fans that they build up this game like, we must win against Collingwood. But realistically, you should build that up against Essendon. You should build that up against Richmond. Because there's nothing wrong. Like, you can't just say, we have to beat Collingwood, we have to beat Collingwood. Mate, eventually you're going to have to beat Essendon, you're going to have to beat Hawthorn and Richmond. So they're so fixed nation on Collingwood that they have to win that. But in hindsight, they have to learn how to beat teams like Hawthorn, because Richmond played Hawthorn and beaten them when they had their three-peats as well. So you're always learning about that. So that's probably longer than what I need to talk about. But I think that's the problem with other teams, supporters like Carlton, is that they're too worried about Collingwood. And it's like, we got Collingwood this. The facts are that David Teague's not going to build up a rivalry against Collingwood. He's not going to build up a rivalry against Richmond or Essendon. So, and even Hawthorn, you want to start playing like it's a finals type game, and I reckon they're going to play finals, but they're going to have to learn that, again, like, if you're going to concede a lot of inside 50s, that they may not have scored as much as probably what they would want to, but in hindsight, if you're conceding 75 inside 50s a game, then you're not going to get anywhere. Eventually, defence can't keep doing that week in, week out. So you're going to have to concede less. So that just tells me and shows me that the difference between sides like Richmond and Collingwood is that we'll make you pay. These Richmond and Collingwood will make you pay. Essendon, probably not as much because they were a weaker team. But if Essendon were a stronger team and playing fine, so yeah, there are times where Carlton could beat Essendon. And it meant so much to beat Essendon. But the fans won't build that up. And even Richmond, you have to learn to start beating them teams. Doesn't matter how many times you play them, that's the standards. They're the competition's best team since maybe Hawthorn and Geelong. And Carlton could beat Geelong as well when they were up and about. So you have to, I reckon, as the Carlton fans will be thinking now, and they probably would not agree with me in a way about this, is that you can't just build up just the Collingwood games, you got to build up every other game, like the other big rivalries that they have. Geelong versus Brisbane. Oh, I'm going to have to say Brisbane Lions by 15 points. tempting to pick Geelong, but I just think Brisbane Lions are a bit too strong in a way that I think Geelong, looking back on it, the way that Adelaide struggled, the way that GWS has struggled, they're the only teams to miss the 8. And you would have, because I didn't think of this when I was doing my season predictions. You know, this game is a massive game for both teams as well. Both lost to teams that they probably should have won, and Brisbane were up and about early, kicking the first 3 goals. Then Sydney went bang, bang, bang. So with Brisbane Lions, they know they can't afford to do this, because after Geelong, they've got Collingwood at the Gabba. So that's going to be an interesting game. So I think by Brisbane Lions by 15 points, if Chris Scott's man becomes 0-2, pressure's going to start building and building. And then eventually they might go, well, you know what? Maybe this plan on getting some senior players isn't working. Might have to go for you. Sydney versus Adelaide. Now, this game here, Sydney versus Adelaide, is another game that I think, who would have thought these teams play well, and who would have thought that the other ones won't. Now, I think Sydney's going to win, and win by 25 points. And the reason why I said that, because Buddy Franklin will be back. And the way that Sydney delivered the ball inside 50, they don't need to try and blaze away. Now, Adelaide were good, but Adelaide are going through this rebuilding phase, and because Sydney are more advanced in their rebuild than what Adelaide are, I think that's the reason why I think Sydney will win, because they'll show how much experience they got. Buddy Franklin will help their forward line out a lot more. So that's how I see it. Now, Port Adelaide versus Essendon. Now, for me, this one is a big one for Port Adelaide and Essendon, because Port Adelaide, realistically, probably should have lost a little bit more during the 100 season last year. And Essendon were 40 points in front and lost it. And that's a choking. So I think Port Adelaide by 60 points, I think that's going to get the job done as well. Another game I like to talk about is St Kilda versus Melbourne. Now, Melbourne do want to play finals this year, and they had a good win. But so did the Saints. They had a good tight win against GWS. Melbourne won by 28 points. So for me, this is a big game for both teams as well. I'm going to say St Kilda by 11 points. But this one will be a very interesting game also as well. Now, Gold Coast Suns versus North Melbourne. Big game for the Suns. Big game for North Melbourne. Both teams having to lose. I'm going to say the Gold Coast Suns will win this. I'm going to say they win it by 25 points. I just think that North Melbourne, they're going to have their struggles this year. And I just think now they're going through this tactic of wanting to, play finals within 3 years. Well, the first year's under, a lot of heat. They brought in James Stevenson. They got absolutely smacked against Port Adelaide. Well, the Gold Coast Suns were brave against the West Coast Eagles. And that just shows me they're going to push a lot of teams as well. Hawthorn versus Richmond at the MCG on the Sunday. Now, this one is a big game also. Hawthorn have won at Marvel Stadium. And the Tigers were good against Carlton, which Richmond got pushed for 3.5 quarters. And the last probably 5 or 10 minutes of that game, Richmond just had enough running the legs to overpower the Blues. So to me, that says a lot about one or two things for that game. Is that Hawthorn, doesn't matter where they're on the ladder, you know they can surprise a few. But either way, Richmond won the premiership. They're starting to play the games at the MCG now. So, and this is a big test, 2 MCG games in a row. And I reckon it's going to be a Richmond win by 15 points. Just think it's going to be very interesting and close. Now, Western Bulldogs versus the West Coast Eagles at Marvel Stadium also. Now, the Bulldogs unfortunately beat my boys by 16 points, but the West Coast Eagles won against a brave Gold Coast Suns team. And I think for that, realistically, Bulldogs should have won by a lot more. And because they brought in Adam Talor, he didn't have a good game, for starters. And that's not knocking the guy either. And all the rest of that happened, which I'm not going to go right into that as well. But I just think the West Coast Eagles will win and win by 20 points. Just think the West Coast Eagles have got gears to go to. And that forward line that they've got in Kennedy and Darling, it makes it very hard for the Western Bulldogs defence as well. And they got Liam Ryan up there who can take a mark and certainly bring the ball to ground. So I think that's the reason why, as I like to say it, that we're going to see a good game of footy. Now, the least to last is Fremantle versus GWS. Now, Fremantle lost due to inaccurate kicking, but they were probably in the game slightly little by 28 points. 22 points, I'm going to say. GWS, they had a close loss against the Saints at home. And what I think what's going to happen is that it's going to be a chance for both Fremantle and GWS to prove themselves this week. One of these teams might be an 0-2, or it could be a draw. So I think Fremantle will win and win by 15 points. I just think they're a bit too stronger at the moment in the way for GWS. And just think now that they brought in a young kid who has shown something, but in the way that they played, it was a wet, slippery game. Playing on that bigger oval down at Perth Stadium makes it a lot more difficult as well. So, and Optus Stadium. So it just shows you that how good that these two teams are playing. I think the big ground suit Fremantle more than it suits GWS. And that's why I think I'm going for the Dockers. So, if you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe. If you are a returning Magpies, I hope that you can like and comment. But I hope you guys do enjoy the video. Like, comment and subscribe. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your neighbours. Go the Pies. This video is out the way, done nice and early. Saves me having to do it tomorrow. Other than that, you know I'm going to be doing this regardless. So until next time, calm the Pies, and I'll see you back with another video as per usual. Bye.